I think that I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated because it was like this was like, I barely made it home in time for this call. I'd been up since like 5:30. I had two meetings already that I was running all around for. I was starving. I hadn't eaten anything, which I eat like every hour and a half. And I was so thirsty. I felt like, and I'm like, oh my, I have a headache. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, you got to be kidding me. And it was a perfect moment of like, I'm like, I guess I need to just like coach myself right now because here I am being provoked and I got two options. I choose wisdom and I handle it the way that I know I should be handling it, the way that I would tell anybody else to handle it, or I just get really angry and upset and it just ruins my morning. And I'll tell you, it's hard sometimes, isn't it? When you're just so frustrated and then traffic's really bad coming back. I'm like, I'm not even gonna make it home for this call because I didn't have my iPad. I'm like, Lord, this morning is so stressful. Why is this so stressful? Because I don't get stressed out easy. But I think when I haven't eaten or drank anything and then I'm running late and then things aren't working, I can get stressed. But man, what a just great opportunity for me to go, nope, I'm gonna handle this with the right way. So anyways, I hope that I did. But I get home and and I'm eating as fast as I can. Just a minute ago, I'm like, Bub, Ryder's in the room. I'm like, Bub, what do I need to train on? Like I haven't even put my thoughts together for today. And he's like, I'm gonna tell you what he said because it was so good. He's like, well, last night I was reading about like, how Jesus was just the ultimate servant and how he came to serve, not to be served. And he made that very clear. And maybe you should talk to them about serving and just kind of what that looks like and how we're called to serve other people. And I'm like, that's exactly what we need to talk about. That's so good. And so I share that with you and like remember that's what we do in this business is we serve. We serve. And two things about that Ryder my son brought to my attention. He's like, remember, Judas didn't want Jesus to wash his feet. He's like, you're not washing my feet. And Jesus said, hey, if I'm not washing your feet, then you have no part of me, right? Like I came to serve. And if you won't let me serve you, then you have no part of me. And it made me think, because we get this question a lot in this business. What do I do when my people like they won't do anything and I can't motivate them and they won't get on calls and they won't return my call sometimes? What do I do? I'm like, I think what we do is we let them be. And I know we've talked about this a lot, but if you can't serve them, think about that. You're not their boss. They're not your employee. You're not demanding that they do anything. You are trying to serve them to better them and their family in this business. And if they won't allow you to serve them, then maybe they need no part of you. Maybe they genuinely at this time do not deserve your service. Have you ever thought about that? So maybe it can also be God's protection for you. Maybe, just maybe, that's not the person that you're supposed to be working with at this time, or those aren't the people. And you're like, yeah, but I need them to do well so we can hit this. No, 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 no. Maybe
I have a
that's not the
question.
right
Where's the
person.
Castile soap?
I don't know where it is, Miss Thomas, but it's somewhere in there. Let's see if I can mute her. Sorry. Participants. Oh, she muted. Okay, good deal. But have you ever considered that? Like that's a good perspective to have. It takes a lot of stress and pressure off of you and trying to get your team motivated and go, here, listen, I'm here to serve. If you don't want my service, then that's God saying that it's not time. Like I'm literally thinking as I'm driving back and I'm stuck in traffic and I finally like mentally come out of it and I'm like, all right, Lord, you had me go out there for a reason. You had me do this for a reason. I was like, for all I know, you could have been protecting me from a wreck. Like if you know what I mean? Like what if the trailer would have worked and I would have been there 10 more minutes and then hooked up the trailer and then next thing you know, 10 minutes behind me, what was a major wreck that you're keeping me from. I just think so much goes on that we don't see that God is protecting us through. And He's also providing for us through. And so I just encourage you with that. The other thing that he said is Ryder said, you also have to understand that when you're trying to serve somebody, it can never be for your benefit. Now, let's be honest. How many times do we serve going, yeah, I'm serving, but really so much of it is like alternative motives, like it's really for my benefit. Think about that. You can get away with that for a little bit, but you can't get away with that for very long. People pick up on that. So when you're gonna serve, serve those that will allow you to serve. And then secondly, serve for the right reasons. Like genuinely help someone in this business because you care about them and you want to help them win for them and their family. Right? So that's service. Does anybody got any comments on that? Was riders training today. Anybody want to piggyback on that and give any thoughts?
I just think you're right on, Kyle. I mean, just so right on. And we can get so discouraged when people continue, for instance, just not to come on a Zoom. Because I want my people to get the best of training. And when they don't show up, and this is in Bible studies that I lead and all that kind of stuff as well. When they don't show up, but yet they drain me in other ways. Wow. You really hit that. You congratulate your son.
Yeah, I'll tell Ryder, good work. Yeah.
Kyle, I just wanted to say I agree. I agree so much. And I appreciate you sharing that because I haven't really thought of it that way as far as like when you're going through kind of maybe a dry season in your business and yeah, like you want this for people. Like I always think like my heart is like I want to serve others and I know their whys and I know their dreams and I want to see them succeed and have success. And it is frustrating and hard sometimes when it's like they don't show up on the calls. They're not taking action. They're not doing what they say they wanted to do. And I think you just have to be careful to not let that discourage you, because you're exactly right. You can only do what you can do. And I was just sharing with someone on my team this week, like, this is an individual business. And obviously, it's amazing to have these trainings and have each other for support and all the things and have an upline and have your downline and all the things. But your upline, for some people's uplines have quit. Some of your downline's going to quit. And so are you going to quit, or are you going to keep going? And, I love that you share that about serving because I haven't really thought of it that way. It's like, because I've kind of gone through a little bit of a season like that lately in my business where, there's not as much momentum and, people aren't working it the way I'm working it. And it can be frustrating and discouraging and all the things if you let it be, if your mindset just lets you, if you're just going to focus on that, or maybe those just are not the people that are supposed to be running with you right now. Maybe those aren't the people, like you said, that you're supposed to be pouring hours of your time into right now. And maybe God has someone new that's going to join you. But if you don't keep doing what you're supposed to do and showing up, you're never going to get there. Right.
That's good.
So that's good, Kyle. I really appreciate you. That's a good perspective.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Carrie. So good.
I love that. I love the whole thing about serving because each of us is on our own journey. We're here for a time. And all we can do is to be as mindful of what our journey is and stay true to it. And that also means if I'm more aware of what that is for me, I can be much more tuned in to what it might be for other people, which could mean me just backing away, because that's what's really important in that moment. Instead of taking it personally, instead of getting hooked in, which doesn't mean that I don't at times, and get really, oh, come on, I put all this energy out trying to get you all on these calls and go do this and do that and the other thing. But some of the most freeing moments for me have been, that sort of 80-20 rule. Well, for some people, it's been like, it's not just 20. Some people, they're gone down to 5% of my time or 1% of my time, okay? Because I just know it takes more out of me and I have a lot more to give and want to give to people who I don't even know yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. So if the people you're connecting with now aren't meeting that, then there are going to be people coming. And so it's
That's
having
right.
that absolute faith that you are where you are meant to be, and the other people you're connecting with are as well. And by some beautiful miracle, you're going to connect with the right people in the right moment, in the right time. And all you can do is take one step after another, and kind of staying true to what your own truth is. So I love what you said. I thought, and I love what your son said. He's
Yeah,
very wise. He is very,
very
very
wise.
wise.
Proud of that boy. Thank you so much. That's so good, Pixie. Thank you. Joe, you unmuted, then we'll go Arlene, then Millie.
Yeah, I just had we just read a book that they were discussing, and one of the things was identifying what your tasks are and not paying attention to what other people's tasks are, right? And not getting caught up in that. And if our task is to build a business and drive downline and put people into the business, then I think the best thing you could do is do that. And then just call back to the person who's not paying attention to you and let them know you have 5 more people in your business. You have 10 more people in your business. You have 15 more people in your business. Eventually, they will pay attention.
100% of the time, every time they will pay attention. Yes. Great advice. Yeah. And it goes to what Carrie was saying. It's an individual business
Yeah,
until it becomes a team business all of a sudden. Yeah, that's good, Joe. Appreciate that.
thanks.
Arlene.
Oh, sorry about that. My daughter just came in. I just wanted to share, like, I think everybody's points are right, and same with Pixie. Like, everyone has their journey, and some people just have a lot more obstacles in the way. And I'm really grateful for you, Kyle, because I'm one of those people. So I'll speak on behalf of people like myself that I come in and out of the business is because I actually have some major life stuff that happens, right? It doesn't mean I don't love or respect what you're doing. Like, I'm so appreciative of Wellness Revolution, you have no idea. But I'm in the book club, that's a core value for me. So I tap into that all the time, and I highly recommend it. But in terms of the business stuff, I still share it, but I'm not sprinting, right? So, like, meeting people where they're at is what we all need to do, really, truly. Like, who knows what their reasoning is, or what whoever didn't show up for you. I kind of jumped on the call a little bit late, but I just think that what you do, what you have done, Kyle, like, you've set up the system. You present the info every week. You can show up when you want, like when you have the calendar and stuff, and I see that, and I'll jump on when I can. But sometimes there's things in life I just can't do it. But it doesn't mean I don't love this company and I don't love you, all the people in this company. So I just wanted to share that as on the people that don't show up all the time. Even though my brain wants to sprint with you, sometimes life literally gets in the way.
Totally get it. And thank you for sharing that. That's very kind of you. Yeah. And that's the beauty of all of us working together, right? That's the beauty of so many people tag teaming these calls and all of us being able to come in and come out because we got life and we got business and everyone's navigating it. I think that's the beautiful thing about what we have here. So thank you for sharing that. It's really kind. Millie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good. I said, oh my God, it's Wednesday. And I look at the calendar. I said, Kyle, I can't miss Kyle. I missed him last week. So I jump in the shower. I put an alarm like at 12:27, get out of the shower no matter what. And that's why you see my hair in a clip and I looking like if I'm running. So
Oh, man.
I understand exactly what you're saying. But, I appreciate you so much and the time that you put into this and your commitment. And I have to say that these conversations with you are so uplifting in many ways, that I was just telling Coralis the other day. Coralis, so bad that you don't speak English, man. And she was saying, I understand some. And I said, well, you understand some, you better just hop into one of these.
Oh, that's awesome.
But
That
I wanted to also comment on your when you were saying that you had to meet people where they are, that's one of the things I was mentioning to my husband yesterday. I said, sometimes I wonder when you present this technology to people that are very sick, people that know you for like 12 years, that went to school with you, and you see them like with conditions like MS, and you bring the technology in 3 different occasions, like, you need to look at this. And they're like, yeah. When my doctor, when I come back on vacation, when my doctor tells me whatever. I have heard so many excuses. Well, this week I went off, like really off. and I saw a testimonial, but I wanted to have something like the person will say, yes, this is a current testimonial. It happened this week. If I want to talk to the person, I can reach to the person. So I saw a person in one of the chats saying he has a condition and how the patches had help, right? So I reached to him and I said through Messenger, I'm also a brand partner. I have a schoolmate that is goofing with me, is not paying attention, and I think she should, because every time I talk to her, her condition has deteriorated. And we have a friend in the same group that passed from that condition 8 years ago. So he said, oh, I'm so thankful you reached to me. And he wrote a very long testimonial. And he said, I'm more than thankful that you reached to me. And I'm willing to answer any question if she wants to reach. And I bring that testimony just like that with his picture, phone, and everything to her. She hasn't even opened it. I know she's ignoring me. And I said to my husband, I said, I am starting to remember that one time in one of the meetings, I heard this. You cannot invest in somebody more time or more attention than what they invest in themselves. It's like, I don't know. I guess she's not that sick, or that she's so tired of being fooled by other stuff. But like what I said to my husband too, when the technology offers you 90 days money back guarantee, no
Yeah.
questions asked. I mean, I will try it. I have to tell you, when they presented this to me, I was easy to sell, and I have been a salesperson all my life. So, I'm the first one that is like,
Yeah.
what. But when they presented this, I was like, I had to try it. I have to try it. And I'm thankful for that, because I tell you, it has been the best thing ever. I
So,
wasn't planning to even do a business, but it has ended being a business. And I have, luckily, God has placed me in many ways where to serve others. Even the other day I was laughing because I was sitting in the dentist office and I'm like, I'm not talking today. I'm tired. And suddenly this gentleman that knows my husband comes towards him, and his wife started talking about, how she feel with her medications. And, they were senior. They were definitely, like, I would say, between 75 and 80. And I said, geez, I'm going to have to open my mouth. So I mentioned to her, I said, I use this device and it has helped us. And let me tell you, these people, it was easy. I want the information. They came to the meeting that night. The next day, they were
go.
putting their order.
Yes.
He called me when the patches came in. We are so thankful for this. He said, I was sweating in the backyard, and I jump in the shower to take a shower and put my patches on. And I'm like, wow, you never know. You might be
Yeah.
reaching to the wrong people because they are not at the right time, or who knows what.
Good.
But then when you get that feeling, because I tell you, it was like something like, you have to open your mouth, Millie.
Yeah.
And I was in the dentist's office, like, I'm not talking, not talking. But I couldn't help it. I told my husband, I said, God works in crazy ways, because I
Yes.
was not going to talk.
Millie, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that's the Lord spurring your heart, going, hey, share. These people need this, right?
Yes, I
That's
tell
so
you,
good.
the word is like you say, is serve.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, it's serve.
Yeah. Well, thank you
Mhm.
for sharing that very much, Millie. I think, okay, so you've heard me say this 1,000 times. You can never say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can also never say the wrong thing to the right person. So when the person is right, it doesn't matter what you say. You could throw up all over them. You can never share much at all. Like, it doesn't matter. They're the right person. They're gonna get on X39. When they're the wrong person, there's nothing you can say. And man, I can go back and I can look at even Joe and I.
Mhm.
I mean, we were at Devin and Sarah's house so many times, and they're on Zoom calls with the patches, and they got patches on them and all kinds of stuff. And we did not even ask them about them for 2 years. Think about that. Because at that time, we were the wrong person. Nothing that they could have said to us at that time we would have gone, oh yeah, can't wait. Let's do this. Nothing. We weren't ugly, we weren't rude. Just timing wasn't right in our life. And then all of the sudden, one day, in a matter of one conversation, everything in our life aligned perfectly to not only be the right person, but to be like the right person and go full speed ahead, like charge, right? And so, and that's just how it works. That's how it works. And so, never get down on somebody that's the wrong person at the time. Doesn't matter what you say, it's never going to work. But there may be a day when all of a sudden they are the right person, and when they're the right person, you couldn't mess it up if you tried.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely, super cool. I love that. Hey, let me share with you just a couple things here and we'll get off. Uh, Dabo Sweeney is the coach of the Clemson Tigers. I love that guy. And he was being interviewed one time and he talks about a windshield mentality. I don't know if anybody's ever heard this, but he's like, listen, when you get in your car and you look at the windshield, the front windshield is big, right? It's huge, top to bottom side. Like you got to be able to see. How big is that rearview mirror? It's pretty small. He said, but the problem is most people in life go through life staring at the rearview mirror, thinking about everything in their past. And the most obvious view is in front of them inside the big windshield, and they're not even focused. And that's why they keep crashing because they're just looking in the past, crash, look in the past, crash. He's like, we have to have a windshield mentality, meaning our dreams have to be bigger than, oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Our dreams have to be bigger than our memory. Your dreams have to be bigger than your memory. That's the windshield mentality. That's what he has all of every year. They recreate culture when they come in during two-a-days before they started football season. And for a while there, they were like winning national championships and going to the playoffs every year. They've been down a few years, but he had to come in with those teams even after winning a national championship and goes, hey, forget your memory, forget what's in the past, windshield mentality. Like, you have to be looking forward. So I'll encourage you with that as well. And then the last thing that I'm going to say is Mark Batterson, one of my favorite authors, has this quote. He says, playing it safe is risky. Quit living as the purpose of life is to arrive safely at death. That's good, right? Isn't that what most people do though? Oh, I'm gonna be safe. I don't just, to be safe. Let me just safely arrive to my deathbed. Heck no. Like that's the riskiest thing you can do. Absolute riskiest thing you can do. It's like now I can go on a rant on this, but this is a whole nother topic.
Can you
Uh,
repeat the name of the guy who said that quote?
yeah, Mark Batterson, is that one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Mark Batterson.
Thank
Mark
you.
Batterson. Yeah. Well, I'll say this and then I'll leave it. This is a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day, but I'm a registered investment advisor. Like I love investments and I love that world, the investment world. And the riskiest thing, the safest thing people think they can do, the safest thing is save money and put it in the bank. The riskiest thing you can do is save money because every day our dollar gets inflated away in today's economy. And you got $100,000 just for easy math sitting in your account 3 years ago. Congratulations, it's worth about 75 today in terms of what it can actually buy. Are you with me? Because inflation keeps going up and our dollar gets inflated away. So it's funny how our mindset sometimes is we think we know what's safe, when in actuality, as Mark Batterson says, playing it safe is actually risky. So I think this business, which most people might consider risky, is actually a form of safety because the risky thing is like, boom, COVID happens and all of a sudden everyone loses their job overnight or no one can go to work. You with me? Like this is creating some sort of safety because you're creating some sort of net and nest egg for you and your family that really no one can take away. Besides the company just going away somehow, no one can take this away from you. And you can't say that about many things in life. So, anyways, guys, go ahead, Carrie. You unmuted.
Just wanted to share this really quick. I hope it encourages someone. I'm reading a book right now with my team. It's called The Mountain Is You, and it's all on self-sabotage. It's really, really good, and it's really making me think. But I just want to read these two little paragraphs. It says, we are not held back in life because we are incapable of making change. We are held back because we don't feel like making change, and so we don't. We are not held back in life because we are incapable of making change. We are held back because we don't feel like making change, and so we don't. it is essential that you learn to take action before you feel like doing this. I think you talked about this on a call recently, Kyle. Taking action builds momentum and creates motivation. These feelings will not come to you spontaneously. You have to generate them. You have to inspire yourself. You have to move. It really just encouraged me. You know, I thought about the gym. It's like you don't always feel like showing up and going to the gym, but you need to take action before you even feel like doing it. Right. And the last thing that I thought was really good and just really encouraged me, if you are going through a season in your business that maybe feels a little dry and you're praying for more momentum, it says, you are not the person you were 5 years ago. Give yourself credit for everything you've overcome that you never thought you would, and everything you've built that you never thought you could. You've come so much farther than you think, and you're so much closer than you realize. And I just thought that was really good. You know, just focus on what you have accomplished and, keep serving others like you talked about, and just see what God does and the people that he brings in your life. You've accomplished a lot, and just to keep going, you're so much closer than you think. I think about Sarah, and she's shared with me how it wasn't until the 2-year mark in her business that things really started exploding for her. And yet she was showing up every day and getting on the calls and going to events, and she had some success, but she's like, it was that 2-year mark for me. Everyone's journey is different, but she was saying it was that 2-year mark for her that everything just exploded. And you just, focus on what you've done and what you've accomplished, and just keep going. And God will put the right people in your path, like Pixie was saying, that need this, and you can serve and run with those people. So I thought that was really encouraging.
That's very encouraging, Carrie. Thank you for sharing that. That was actually awesome. I think that's a great way to end it right there. It was beautiful, as Jonah said. Beautiful. Guys, that was cool. Thank you so much for everybody sharing your thoughts and inputs. I love it. Everyone learns when everyone speaks. So thank you, guys.
And Kyle, thank you for showing up today, given what you were dealing with, right?
Oh, please. You're welcome. Yeah, no, all is well. I wasn't sharing that for any reason other than say
I know,
sometimes you
I
gotta coach
know.
yourself, right? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely beautiful. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Love you guys. Y'all have an amazing day. Testimony call. I just got a text from Sarah saying she has some amazing testimonies tonight. So everybody make sure you're on the testimony call if you can be on tonight. Bye, guys.